So I think you must be seeing the screen now.
Yes.
Great. So even though it sounded like I was complaining because we have been here for a long time, from my perspective, the reality is that I have been enjoying all these 3 days. I had the opportunity to listen to all the talks. Of course, I was attending the keynote presentations, having questions and exchange of ideas with the keynote presenters. It was quite interesting and very exciting. So I'm really hoping that everybody who is watching this now or eventually later on, they will find it also very interesting. So this is the closure ceremony starting now at 7. After 3 days, 3 full days of presentations, keynote presentations, we had panel sessions, and we even had some videos from one sponsor. And I just want to remind you that this whole event was organized by 4 institutions, INAOE, UTLAB, Benemérita Universidad Autónoma de Puebla, Sinvestab, and had it happened physically here in Mexico, we would have hosted you in Puebla, Puebla City, the capital of the Puebla state in Mexico. And as I said it in the award ceremony, what you are seeing now at the bottom of this slide is a picture that Oyuki took this morning, right this morning, because we were struggling to we were trying to find, sorry, a picture for the proceedings, and all the pictures on the internet, they had this thing with the copyright, so we didn't want to risk it. So she went to the top of her flat, well, her building, and took the picture. And this is a very nice picture because, as I said, this is what we see almost every morning here in my city on the way to my institute. And then once you are at the institute, you have this view. And I find it very humbling because this is an active volcano. They always call them the volcanoes. I'm not sure if the one to the right is also a volcano, but it is a very large mountain called Iztaccíhuatl. The one to the left is called Popocatépetl. And there's a very nice story about these volcanoes, but I hope you get curious and you go to Wikipedia and find out about these volcanoes. But they are big, they are quite impressive to see. You get used to them because you see them every day. But from time to time, when you look at them, it reminds you, I think it reminds us of our place on this earth. So it is very nice to see them and appreciate them. So I really hope that maybe in the future, we will be able to come to Mexico and visit this very nice city. So in this conference, we saw the presentation of 27 scientific papers. The proceedings are online now. If you go to the website and you click on the proceedings or go to the proceedings, you will get them. You will be addressed to the place where they are found. So please go to them. They are open access, which means that everybody can put his or her hands on the PDFs and enjoy the contributions. We selected a group of papers that are going to be published in 2 scientific journals, the International Journal of Micro-Air Vehicles and the Unmanned Systems. So we have already contacted the authors, and we will arrange what is going to be next for the publication of these papers. And then we also had 3 awards that we presented this midday in the awards ceremony. And we announced the winners of the best conference paper, the best technical application paper, and the best student paper. And I think the 3 of them were fantastic pieces of work. We also had 2 runners-up or finalists to the best conference paper. So these 5 papers really stood out with their quality and contributions to this field of micro-air vehicles. But then again, the rest of papers that we we saw in the conference were also quite nice and quite interesting in terms of ideas and applications. And finally, we got the sponsorship. The company Luxonics was very kind to award these prizes. Each paper will receive one sensor, the OPT light sensor, and I'm pretty sure you will find it very very appealing because it is a very tiny sensor. It's a smart camera that can be mounted on board a drone, not a very small drone, but certainly micro vehicle. It could carry the sensor. So we'll see what you can do with that. Hopefully you will do some exciting work and submit it to the next IMAV 2022. I just want to take a minute to remember that we got also very good keynote speakers. I think the presentations were fantastic. We saw from what is being developed in terms of UAVs or unmanned aerial systems here in Mexico, actually, by the Mexican Navy. As the Admiral said, 10 years of experience were described in this keynote presentation, and it was very interesting. And of course, the presentation given by Professor Guido de Kroon about tiny drones, agile drones, a swarm of drones, that was also quite impressive. And many of these drones or his work focuses mostly on insect-inspired artificial intelligence for these tiny drones. So what he presented was quite impressive, but I would say. And then we also had the presentation of Professor Tom Richardson, which came quite in place for our city, because he presented what he has been doing with volcanoes and operations with drones beyond the line of sight, something that is quite complicated, and how he was using them to take measurements of the plumes from the volcanoes. Here we have our volcano, so we really would like to have Tom to come to our city and do some testing on this volcano that is active. We also had the presentation of Brandon Gilles, who is the CEO of Luxonics, and he not only talked about this smart camera that they offer, but also how it can be used with drone applications, and he unraveled the potential behind this sensor that is capable of running neural networks on the chip that is small and can be carried by a drone. So we were discussing how this type of technology can bridge the gap in between drones that are designed in a clever way and drones that have to behave in a smart way, like an aerial robot that not only has to fly, but that has to perform intelligent behavior, has to take intelligent decisions. And today we had these two amazing keynotes from Nicolas Marchand, who was talking about event-based control. And then he showed us all these algorithms for navigation, where it was capable of avoiding obstacles. And it was quite interesting to see that approach from the point of view of control. And we closed the keynote presentations with the participation of Rogelio Lozano, who presented this novel rotor for helicopters, or small helicopters. We had a very interesting conversation on different ideas and what is going to be the future of micro air vehicles, or in general UAVs as well. And something that stayed in my mind was that he also talked about endurance. So with his talk, we saw two key aspects in the IMAV conference, which is this thing of endurance, that we want drones or UAVs to fly as long as possible. And the second aspect, which is very important, the design. So how do you design drones, micro air vehicles, in a way that they become affordable, easy to use, easy to repair, that's something that it becomes attractive for the companies to be interested at, so they can be deployed commercially. So So that's my best effort to summarize what we saw in this keynote, but you can always go to the links on Facebook and YouTube. They will be there, I don't know for how long. I wanted to say forever, but we don't know, but at least they will be there. So you can always rewatch the presentations. And then we had two very interesting discussion panels with former IMAV chairs from IMAV 2016 and 2018, Professor Ben Chen, Professor Simon Watkins. They took us to remember these competitions, in particular the competitions. They show very nice videos about that, and of course the conference and the keynotes. So the discussion was also very interesting about different challenges that are still valid today, like talking about noise, whether we want noise for drones or we don't want noise, how to detect noise. And then, yes, of course, what could be used in different applications, like if we use drones for search and rescue, then maybe that technology will be more accepted by society rather than having taxi drones, for instance. So it was very interesting. And the second panel was, it was a bit more crowded with the participation of Professor Guido de Kroon, Professor Jean-Marc Moschetta, Professor Pascual Campoy, and Assistant Professor Gutierrez Hattenberger, general chairs, in the case of Guido, of IMAV 2014, and he mentioned others, of course, and Professor Jean-Marc from IMAV 2017, Professor Campoy for the IMAV 2019, and Gutierrez was deputy chair of the IMAV 2017. And in this panel, actually, it was more remembering the events where we had these 4 presentations where they show pictures as well. And it was interesting to see different times of the IMAV events. And perhaps what I enjoyed the most is the description all of them gave about the IMAV, what the IMAV means, what is the main idea behind this event that is not only a conference, it's also a set of competitions for outdoors, indoors, and the spirit behind it, which is to foster innovation, to promote research, but moreover, to bring people together for them to exchange ideas, to learn from each other, and to enjoy the competitions, not only to compete for the sake of a prize. So that was a very nice message. I really enjoyed it. So after having said that, it's now the turn for me to say thank you to a bunch of people. Without their help, this event couldn't have happened. It looks like we're here in a confident way, trying to do our best. And of course, we struggle sometimes. We had some problems with the online streaming, but in general, before the conference, there was a lot of work. We had 1 year of preparation. And I have to say, for those who didn't know, that the original IMAV in Mexico was planned to be for the IMAV 2020, because we were planning competitions. We were planning not only the conference, and actually, when I approached my colleagues to propose them that we organize this event, that we bid for it before the international committee to see whether they would be interested in having the IMAV in Mexico. They were very excited, and actually I thought of them because I also thought that their institutions had the facilities for these competitions. And then we put everything together, we put the proposal, and we won the bidding. So it was very nice to have the news that we would organize the IMAV in 2020. But unfortunately, because of the COVID pandemic, it was not possible, and we decided to wait. So that's why we didn't have an IMAV in 2020. And then this year was not much better at the beginning. So that's why we decided to go finally with a virtual conference. But I also have to say that this is the first time ever that this event happens in Latin America, at least organized by Latin American institutions. So then again, after all of that, I want to say thank you to Dr. Cesar Martinez Torres, who originally he was assigned the task to be the indoors competition chair. This indoors competition would happen at Universidad de las Américas Puebla in their facilities. So please, Cesar, if you can come to the front and say a few words, please do.
Thank you, Jose. Well, I think I have nothing to add to your comments. It was a shame that we didn't have these competitions in local or not in virtual, but in real. But well, we are still working, and even probably if for the next years we'll probably have once again IMAV, but now in real. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Cesar. And next to you, we also got the support of the media staff from UTLAB. So a big thank you to them as well. They have been supporting us with Zoom virtual room, and also with streaming live on social networks of UTLAB. So to all of them, Victor, Guillermo, Abraham, Omar, Subiel Vélez from TV UTLA, thank you. It has been very hectic, but you have been very supportive and very patient. So thank you very much. And I also want to say thank you to Dr. Jose Fermi Guerrero Castellanos. You saw him before this closure ceremony. He was the session chair of the last session, and he has been chairing other sessions as well. So please, Fermi, if you want to come forward. And I have to say that originally he was the outdoors competition chair. He found an amazing place here in the city where we were thinking of how the teams would deploy the drones and for all these challenges that we propose. But well, please, Fermi.
Okay, so firstly, thank you, Jose, for the invitation to participate in this committee. For me, it was a great pleasure because I think that it's very, very important and it's very necessary, this kind of event for the students, for the professor also around our country, because the drone, the robotics in general, it's an area that it's very important to develop in our country, because there are many opportunities in research and opportunities in industrial application also. So I think that this conference allow to see many perspectives around this kind of things. So thank you very much for the invitation, and hopefully in the next years we can to carry out this conference in live. So,
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Fermi. Thank you for your kind words. And of course, thank you to the people who supported you as well, the media staff, Dr. Cesar Augusto Arriaga Octavio, Octavio Torres Gonzalez, and Dr. Cesar Augusto Arriaga, and of course the head of the Faculty of Electronics, Dr. Luz del Carmen Gomez Pavon from WAP. So to all of them, our gratitude for their support. And also a huge thank you to Hugo Rodriguez Cortez, our program chair. He was he's the one with the magic behind our program. So he really did a great job organizing all of these different sessions that we saw. how to put papers in different topics and areas. And I think he did an splendid job. So please, Hugo, if you're around, if you're still around, because I think I took a bit of time.
Hi to all. I just want to thank all authors for sending their work to this conference. I enjoyed the presentations, and I hope that we meet each other at the next IMAV conference. Hopefully not a virtual one. So see you next year.
Thank you.
To all of you.
Thank you, Hugo. Thank you very much. And just to mention some people, Israel Cruz Vega, session chair, who supported us, Dr. Israel Cruz Vega from INAOE, Dr. Caleb Rascon from UNAM. He actually proposed a challenge, a sound detection challenge. He specializes in sound sources for robotics. He's an expert on that, and we were very happy to have him on board proposing this challenge, and he was meant to be a judge for that particular one, to be part of the indoors competition. But well, he still joined us, and he chaired 2 sessions this morning. I think he also did a great job. So thank you to both of them. And before that, sorry, from UNAM, from the National University, Autonomous National University of Mexico. And I also want to say thank you, a big thank you to Antonio Perez Gonzalez, Dr. Antonio Perez Gonzalez, who is, because the website is still alive, he is our website chair. When I approached him and I asked him for his help to design, propose and design a website for this event since 2019, he didn't hesitate to tell me, of course, we can do it. And do not worry, we will do a very nice website. My opinion is that he really did a very nice job. The website really was functional, very colorful, and I really enjoy every time I had to go online and see things on the website. And with him, he had a team of people supporting him. So to all of them, Juan Pablo, Esteban, Emmanuel, Jose Juan, thank you. Dr. Antonio, he's based with Universidad Politécnica de Tlaxcala, and he has been supporting us all this time. He couldn't be with us for this ceremony because he works a lot, but thank you, Antonio, if you are listening to this, and if not, you can watch it again, but I will make sure that I will say thank you in person. Thank you for your work. All of you must have seen the website. So it was very nice what he did with the logo, all these colors and all this animation behind. And I have to tell you that one of the members of the international committee requested a couple of days ago, before the conference started, whether it would be possible to have a small clock. It didn't matter that it had to be fancy or not, just a clock in real time showing the Mexican time, well, especially the Mexico City time, date and time, because since we got people from different places in the world, they really struggle, and I understand that it is very difficult to see another time zone when it is not yours. So it's never clear what time is it, and we were under the risk of not having authors, turning up because they missed the times. It happened to us in a conference actually, that we didn't see the time clearly and we missed the talk. So he also did this small clock in real time for you to see. And just to give you an idea, in these last 3 days, from the 17th to until today, the 19th of November, we got 1,000, a bit more of 1,000 visits on the website from different places in the world. So I think that tells you that there is a community there that is interested in these events, and they were checking out our website. So just in 3 days, 1,000 visits, which is roughly 300, more than 300 visits per day in average. So that's something very nice to see for our website. And then if you look at 1 month, so from today, 1 month behind, or the last 30 days, we receive more than 3,500 visits on the website. Many of them in Mexico City, actually from the center of Mexico City, which is quite interesting. But you can see that there are red spots all across the globe. From Australia, Simon Watkins is he's based at Melbourne. So, but yeah, we got people from different places. And then if you go 1 year, an entire year, so from today, if you go back, we have got 14,000, a bit more of, more than 14,000 visits in 1 year. And this website was put online almost 1 year and a half. So I'm pretty confident that we got more visits than that, but with this application, I couldn't recover more than 1 year. And actually you can see that it is from February the 2nd until today. So 14,177 visits. And you can see that from many places around the world. So I think that tells you again that there is a community, there are people interested in this event, in this field of micro-air vehicles, and that is something to be proud of. And I really hope that this event continues for many, many years to come. So finally, the main institution that organized this event, the institution that has been supporting me, and the institution where I work, where I have my laboratory, INAOE, Instituto Nacional de Astrofísica, Óptica y Electrónica. It's the National Institute for Astrophysics, Optics, and Electronics, which, by the way, this year turned 50 years. They celebrated 50 years of since its foundation. 1 week ago, we had actually the anniversary ceremony for these 50 years. And I have to say this, something that I am very proud of, what I think we have contributed is that if you see this logo for the celebration of the 50th anniversary, there is a drone. And before that, the research on drones was something that if there was some research, perhaps it was not that relevant, I would say, because INAOE has 4 main departments: astrophysics, optics, electronics, computer science. And I think astrophysics has been one of the main aspects in research. So it attracted a lot of attention, especially because last year, INAOE collaborated into the obtention of the black hole image, if you saw the news. But well, with the work that we have done, I am very happy to say that eventually, bit by bit, drones became also very relevant as a research topic, such that the person who proposed this logo also included a drone, a tiny drone. Well, it could be a large drone, but this is a quadcopter, exactly what Rogelio Lozano was talking, a very nice quadcopter that people like. So we are very happy for that. And then, of course, I had the support of different people at different times. At the outset of this organization, we had this team of students who were very enthusiastically participating in the elaboration of, for instance, the rules for the competitions. We were brainstorming about the challenges, and they helped us to write down these rules, to design diagrams, figures, and also to go to open the social networks, to do the administration of these social networks, and so many different micro tasks that they took over, and they helped us a lot. So thank you to all of them, of course, Aldrich, Jose Arturo, Antonio, Aaron, Sergio, Manuel, Rene. Actually, when we started this in 2020, at the beginning of 2020, many of them, they were PhD students or master students, and after almost 2 years, some of them have graduated, actually. So, but well, I hope that if you see this, thank you for your support and for believing in this project, and make sure that that you contributed to this as well. And also, thank you to the media staff from INAOE, Guadalupe Rivera, the head of the media departments at INAOE, Montserrat Flores de la Peña, who has been with us all the time, and Gustavo Hernandez. Thank you very much for all your help with this transmission, with this live transmission on Facebook. To all of you who are always behind the scenes, but you are very important, and without you, this couldn't have been possible, so thank you. And finally, to Yuki Rojas Perez. She's doing a PhD now at INAOE, but she has been herself to some IMAV events. She went to IMAV in China in 2016, and then she went to Toulouse, and her last IMAV was in 2019 in Spain. So she got a bit of experience. And again, she was very enthusiastically telling me in the morning, oh, I can go on the top of my building and take a picture. And she did, as she promised. And this is the picture that is going to be in the proceedings. So please, Yuki, come forward and say something.
Hi. So IMAV is a big event, and
sorry, your camera, we are not seeing you.
Oh, but this it's on my camera.
Yeah, the camera is open.
Okay, we don't see her. Well,
Oh, okay.
Speak out loud, please.
Yeah. Hi. IMAV was a big event, and it is special for me. And I just thank you everyone for being part for this event. I hope you enjoy it, and see you next IMAV.
Okay, thank you, Yuki. I never saw your image, but we have your picture, so people may have an idea of who you are. And by the way, I have to say that she also contributed on the designing of the logo. She designed this fixed wing-like symbol, which is dressed up as with feathers, like representing the royal eagle from our Mexican flag. And she also designed this symbol for the Mayan number, which is in this case 2021. The one of the last year, sorry, 2020, was interesting because it had the 0. So that was very quite appealing. You know, we wanted to show off that because the Mayan numerical system, it includes the 0. That is something quite outstanding, you know, considering that so many years ago, not many cultures, even though they had numerical representations, they didn't include the 0 as a symbol. And the Mayans did, so we wanted to show that. But well, we will keep that image as a memory, perhaps to upload it on the website. But yeah, she contributed to the design of this logo. So thank you, Yuki, for that. Okay, finally, as Pascual would say, not very interesting, but I have to say it. My name, again, is Jose Martinez Carranza. I am the general chair of the IMAV 2021. I have been here quite a lot, talking a lot, but really all the help I have received is from these people that I have mentioned. This event has been possible because of them, because of all the effort that they put together. So thank you to all of them. And I'm very happy, I'm very pleased with what we have achieved. For the first time for this event to be held in Latin America, I think, and here in Mexico. Of course, I wish it could have been a physical event with competitions, is what we meant to do. But yet, I think we have done something important here. We got very nice papers, very nice keynotes, very nice discussions. And I hope that contributes something to the field. So then last thing, which is important, as you can see here, this is a history of different IMAV events, previous IMAV events, since actually it was a European micro air vehicle event or micro air vehicle event in 2004. So we have seen all these countries organizing the IMAV from China, Australia, the last one was Spain, and now Mexico. So where is it going to be? Well, I was asked to deliver on behalf of the next organizers for the IMAV 2022. And for that, I have to stop this one and let me bring the other screen. So give me a minute, please. Who wants to bet which one is going to be? Okay, let me. Okay, so the next IMAP 2022 is going to be in Delft, the Netherlands, the Technical University of Delft, bid for the organization of the next year, and hopefully we will have a competition as well. So not only a conference, but also a couple of challenges for a competition. So they sent me this slide to tell you about TU Delft, the oldest and largest Dutch public technical university located in Delft, in the Netherlands. It is ranked by QS World University Rankings, a very good ranking, among the top 15 engineering and technology universities in the world. They have over 26,000 students, 6,000 employees. And this is a nice picture of Delft. Yeah, it looks a lot like Amsterdam. There are many bikes as well. And yeah, you can see the windmills as well. So it looks nice. Oh, there are some drones as well, some quadcopters. So Netherlands, the place of swarms, maybe. Okay, so for the organization, we will have the MAP lab behind the organization, the micro air vehicle laboratory in the Faculty of Aerospace Engineering. And if you saw the keynotes, I'm pretty sure that you can imagine that the chair behind this, or at least as part of the organization, is going to be Guido de Kroon. Although Christophe is there as well, so we'll see. And hopefully we will have a conference and a competition aiming for physical, maybe a hybrid event with a suitable, flexible competition. We don't know the dates yet, but it is likely that it's going to be at the end of August. So please book that month if possible, or maybe at the start of September in 2022. And after having said that, we get to the end of this. And then, yeah, okay, so that's the surprise. It's going to be in the Netherlands next year. Hopefully we can go there. If there is a competition, I hope we can put a team together with all the organizers. It would be exciting to have a nice Mexican team competing. Right, so anything else you would like to say? Fermi, Cesar, Hugo? Hugo.
No, just see you next year in Netherlands.
Great. Well, once more, thank you for all your help. It has been invaluable and important. So to our audience, I hope you enjoy the event. All the papers are online already. They are open access. You can get access to them. And maybe at the end of this year or at the beginning of next year, you will see the special issues, which will show a selection of the papers from the conference. And those journals are actually open access. There is no cost for the authors, but then the advantage is that since they are open access, the public will be able to access to the papers as well. Great, thank you. Thank you very much. See you maybe next year, hopefully in the Netherlands. Take care, bye.